Hiya pal, how you doing? Going to read you a wee bedtime story if that's alright? Aye? Right, you hop off into bed, get comfy, and I'll read you this story. Star Wars The High Republic, The Great Jedi Rescue. Will we begin? Great. The Republic ship the Legacy Run was on what should have been an easy mission, transporting settlers to the galactic frontier along one of the oldest hyper routes in the galaxy. Suddenly, alarms started going off. "What is it?" Captain Hedda Cassett asked. "There's something in the hyper lane," the navigator reported. "Something big. Impact in 6 seconds." Collisions in hyperspace were almost unheard of. If they hit what lay ahead, the Legacy Run would be destroyed. Cassett had to act quickly. "Activate manual control," she commanded, trying to sound calm for her crew. There you go. There's a wee picture here. The Legacy Run sped toward the unidentified object, growing closer with every second. Cassett needed to drop the ship out of hyperspace before they crashed. Cassett yanked on the controls. "Come on," she hissed, urging the ship to follow her command. "You can do it! You can do it!" "That's it," the navigator encouraged her. "We're re-entering normal space in 5, 4, 3, 2... Navigator never finished his countdown. The Legacy Run was old, and its compartments were overloaded with people and cargo. The sudden movement had put too much strain on its aging hull. With the sound of tearing metal, the Legacy Run ripped apart. There you go, there's a wee picture of Captain Hassett and the Legacy Run being torn apart. Far away, the quiet farming world, Hetzel Prime, orbited 3 bright yellow suns. Nothing ever happened in that remote sector of space. Most people had never even heard of Hetzel. Well, that would soon change. Out of nowhere, pieces of the Legacy Run appeared from hyperspace and shot toward the planet, its cargo containers and passenger compartments spinning wildly. They were going to hit the planet, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. The people of Hetzel Prime panicked as the news spread. An evacuation call went out to leave the planet, but everyone knew there wasn't enough time. Then a message was heard. Broadcast from somewhere out among the stars, a message that gave hope to all that heard it. "This is the Jedi. Help is on the way." And there's a wee picture of Hetzel Prime and the message coming through. A Jedi long beam burst out of hyperspace, and 3 sleek starfighters launched from its hangar bay. These were Vectors, piloted by Jedi Knights, the brave heroes who protected the Republic. There was Tiama, a blue-skinned Duros, Mikkel, a hammer-headed Ithorian, and the white-haired Nib Asek and her Padawan Wookiee called Buri Yaga. "We can shoot the wreckage down before it hits the planet," Tiama said. Buri Yaga frowned. He could sense something through the Force, the mystical energy field that gave the Jedi their powers. His eyes went wide and he realised the truth. They couldn't fire on the wreckage. It was full of people. There's a wee picture of the long beam. Buri Yaga, he's a Wookiee. Meanwhile, Jedi Master Lodin Greatstorm and his Padawan Bel Setafar had spotted a problem down on Hetzel Prime. A group of desperate farmers were trying to get into the starship hangar so they could escape the disaster, but they were being stopped by stubborn guards who didn't realise the danger everyone was in. "We're going to help," Lodin told his Padawan. With their cloaks billowing behind them, Lodin and Bel leapt from their speeding Vectors to the planet's surface. There you go. There's Lodin and Bel jumping in to help. In space, Baba Yaga listened as the Jedi made a plan to save the people inside the speeding wreckage. The long beam could lasso it with strong cables, but the compartment was travelling too fast. They needed to slow it down first. The Jedi victors flew towards the wreckage. Then Tiamat uttered one simple word. Now. The Jedi reached out with the Force, trying to slow the wreckage with the power of their minds. Baba Yaga would never have been able to do it on his own, but together they could do it. They would do it. He held the cable shoot out across space. Would it work? There you go. There's Baba Yaga and Tiamat reaching out with the Force, and the long beam reaching out with its cables. On the planet below, Lawden and Bell tried to get the guards to let the people into the starship hangar, but they refused. They would not help their neighbours, even at such a dangerous time. A scream went out. Everyone whirled around to see the pirates rushing in on speeder bikes, about to attack the frightened crowd. The Jedi knew they had to act fast. For light and life, the Jedi shouted, igniting their lightsabers. The pirates' blaster fire bounced off the lightsabers and hit the speeders instead. The speeders exploded, throwing the pirates to the ground. The guards couldn't believe it. The Jedi had risked their lives for a bunch of strangers. Maybe they should help their neighbours, after all. Lawden and Bell smiled as the guards opened the gates. There you go. The pirates coming in on speeders. Lawden with a yellow lightsaber and Bell with a green. Above the planet, the long beam had lassoed the passenger compartment and was firing its retro thrusters to slow the wreckage. Excuse me. But the danger wasn't over. Avar Kriss, the Jedi Master coordinating the rescue on Hetzel Prime, called out a warning over to the Jedi's comm system. There's another compartment, she told him. It's full of hyperfuel and heading towards the suns. Baba Yaga's heart sank. If that hyperfuel plunged into the suns, it could set up a catastrophic chain reaction. Every planet in the system would be destroyed. This is Master Avar Kriss, and this is the dangerous hyperfuel heading towards the sun. Jedi Master Avar Kriss contacted every other Jedi on the mission. We don't have time to stop the cargo container, she said. It's moving too fast, even for us, but we can change its course so it misses the suns. Baba Yaga wasn't so sure. Even Jedi couldn't do that. Could they? His master smiled at him. Together we can do anything through the Force, Master Nib said. Impossible or not, they had to try. Once again, the Jedi reached out and touched each other's minds, but this time, there were many of them. Baba Yaga could sense them, Avar, Lawden, and Bell on the planet's surface, and his master, and the other Jedi and the other Victors, flying closer to the suns with each passing second. And there you go, you can see all the Jedi reaching out there. We will move it, they thought. Together, even as Baba Yaga tried to ignore the glare from the suns and the unimaginable heat in the cockpit, we will move it. The container flew towards the suns, getting nearer and nearer, and Baba Yaga cried out in joy as the container shot past the three suns, spinning safely out into open space. Master Nib placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. We did it, Baba Yaga. Hetzel Prime is safe. Baba Yaga could feel the relief of his fellow Jedi and sense the following cheers of the people on the planet below. They had done it! And there you go. You can see Baba Yaga reaching out and the container flying away safely. Soon, the passengers on board the speeding wreckage were transferred to a Republic ship, where they were checked by medical droids for any injuries. Then, they were taken to Starlight Beacon, a beautiful space station with gleaming towers and brilliant lights. Starlight Beacon was the Republic's new base on the galactic frontier. From this space station, the Jedi could protect people even at the very edge of Republic space, and the Jedi were about to dedicate the station in a special ceremony. And there you go. There's Starlight. Yep. Starlight Beacon. A very pretty space station. Burryaga stood with his fellow Jedi at the centre of Starlight Beacon. They had saved many people from disaster, and with the new space station, they would be able to help many more. As the crowd cheered, the Jedi raised their lightsabers, vowing to always protect light and life wherever it was found, and to be the guardians of peace and justice throughout the galaxy. And here we can see the Jedi in their ceremonial robes with their lightsabers. I hope you enjoyed that story. Good night and sweet dreams.